Today's agenda is simple. We know a lot of tools and we heard those names, but we don't know which tool should be used in which phase of project development and deployment. Today, I am going to talk about different tools that are used different phases of project development and deployment. So I'm not going to talk about each tool in detail, but I'm going to introduce each tool and at what phase of project development deployment that tool comes into picture. That tool comes into picture. This is what I'm going to talk. Shall we start the session? Yes. Okay, now listen carefully. Okay, don't use a chat box to ask the queries which are not relevant to current topic. Such questions I will take at the end of the session. Use a chat box to respond to my queries and to ask only current topic related queries. If you ask irrelevant queries of current topic, I will be ignoring them. If you repeat the question also, again, I will ignore it. I will take such queries only at the end of the session. Whenever you have any query in mind or any doubt in mind, hold it for 5 to 10 minutes in your mind before you put in the chat box. Because I believe most of your queries will be rectified in next 5 to 10 minutes discussion. Okay, what is the prerequisite to attend this session, sir? If you don't know anything of Java, also fine, you can attend this session. It's a more generic session, but for Java people only. It's a more generic session related to Java people. If you have core Java, little bit of advanced Java, that will be added advantage. If you don't have that knowledge also, no problem. Because this is purely generic session exposing which tool is required in which phase of project development and deployment. Shall we start the session? Yes, boss. Now, first of all, let me ask few questions. Project development is a one-man show or a teamwork? Teamwork. So in project development, multiple team members will be there. Right now, boss? Tell me, boss. After developing the project, you will directly release the project or you will be doing testing also? Definitely you'll be doing testing also. Right. So testing will be done by testers or developers. The testing part will be done by testers or developers. Testers. Majority of testings will be done by testers, boss, but 1-2 testings will be done by developers. Okay, the test that is done by developer is technically called as what? Unit. That is called what, guys? Unit testing. What is the most famous tool to perform unit testing? JUnit. If JUnit is not ready, if JUnit is not capable of performing unit testing, what is the extension tool we should use? Mockito. We should take the support of Mockito, na? When certain objects are not ready for completing unit testing, then we need to create such objects as Mockito objects. Such objects as what? Mock objects with the support of Mockito, na? Fine. Okay, let it be. Okay, now listen. Listen, guys. After developing project, testing project, we release to the client organization who has given money to us, requirements to us, right, boss? We release na, boss? Tell me, client organization and software company, both will be there in the same location? Both will be there in same location, guys? No. Tell me, once project is released, the location of software company that supports the released project, that maintains the released project, technically called as what? Technically called as what? Offshore location or on-site, onshore. Offshore location or off-site location, right, boss? Offshore location or Off-site location. Sorry, nothing but your CTS company, city, what is that? Accenture. All these are called what? Offshore or off-site location. Once a project is released, the client organization location is technically called as the client organization location is technically called as on-site or onshore location. On-site or onshore location. Citibank London, Amex USA, American Express Bank USA. CTS company Hyderabad, let us assume developed and released the project for Amex USA. Now tell me, boss, CTS company Hyderabad is called as what? Onshore location. And Amex USA, Amex New York City is called as what? On-site location. Clear? Super. Okay. Okay, this is small background preparation. Okay, first of all, tell me how many types of projects we generally come across, guys? Service projects, software products. We generally come across two kinds of projects, na boss. Come on, everyone. I'm going to reveal one by one. First of all, let me spend 1 minute time. What is the difference between service project and software product? That's not majorly, boss. Subcategories, many they are there. What is the difference between both? Gathering requirement from client organization and developing software project exclusively for that client organization is called what, guys? Service project, software service project. Tell me, boss, CTS is gathering requirements from American Express Bank, designing and developing the project and releasing the project only to American Express Bank. Can I call this one as a software service project, guys? Virtusa Polaris company is gathering requirements from Citibank, designing and developing and releasing the project only to Citibank. Can I call this one as a software service project, guys? Okay, then what about software products, sir? Then what about software product? Software product is not designed and developed by keeping one client organization in mind. Not by keeping one client organization in mind. They found there is some gap in the market. For multiple client organization, that gap is there. So the software company itself analyzed, software in company itself analyzed the requirements, designed the project, coded the project, kept in the open market for all client organization. Okay, 10 client organization liked the project. They have taken it by paying the money. 100 client organization liked the project. They have taken the money by paying they have taken the project by paying the money. So it is not specific to one client organization, boss. It is common for all the client organizations. It's very much common for all the client organizations. Whoever likes it, they will be taking it by paying the money. What are the examples? MS Office. For example, you observe MS Office. Do you think Microsoft people created MS Office only for one client organization? Only for Citibank? Only for Amex? Only for Indian Railways? Only for Central Government of India? No. They developed, guys, by assuming common requirements in office environment. So many people liked it. So people are paying money and using the MS Office. And accounting software, Tally, boss. Google Drive. Even in fact, Zoom software, where I am conducting the classes, Zoom meeting, Zoom software. Do you think these are designed only for one client organization? These are basically products. People developed and tested and kept in the open market. So many people liked it, right? So many clients liked it. So many users liked it. They're just taking and using it. Can I simplify this explanation? Okay. Software service project is like purchasing the cloth, going to tailor, giving your measurements, guiding the tailor, okay, how to uh, stitch a shirt. That is like software service project. Everything exclusively for you. Everything exclusively for you. Is that clear, my dear? Cloth selection according to your taste. Measurements according to your body. Style of stitching according to you. And tailor also works exclusively for your requirement. Then shirt will be delivered. Clear? Super. Specific to one person. Software product is like going to shopping mall, trying 20 shirts, liking one shirt and purchasing it. Liking one shirt and purchasing it. Because that shirt is not exclusively designed or released for you. That shirt is released in the market. It is available in the market. Many people tries it. Whoever likes it, they will take it and use it. If many people likes it, they create the duplicate of what? That shirt model, and they keep in different stores and different cities. I hope you got my point, my dear. Come on. Yes, guys. Now listen. To create service project or to create software product, if it is a service project, gathers requirements from client organization. If it is software product, gathers requirement from the market, open market, guys. Because no fixed client here, boss. No fixed client. No fixed client. Open market. What is gap in the market? What is required in the office environment? One Word document, one Excel sheet. This kind of things are required. So Microsoft somehow analyzed and created MS Office kind of thing. For small organization, accounting models are same. Every small company cannot create their own accounting software. Na? Tally is given for basic accounting operations. To store the data and to share the data among the people. Google Drive, Dropbox, this kind of products have come. For conducting meetings, Zoom product has come. Right now, boss? Did they design exclusive for client one organization? No. From the market, they found that gap. So the software company itself analyzed the requirement by seeing the gap in the market, guys. Who gathers these requirements, boss? Business analyst or product owner. Business analyst, product owner. Are you getting my point? So now first person is introduced, guys. Who is the first person? Business analyst or product owner. Right, boss. Based on these requirements, this fellow will create user stories. What do you mean by user stories, you know? I will write user stories in a format. For example, I want to design e-commerce application. Okay, the user story will be like this. The user story will be like this. Okay, visitor launches xyz.com e-commerce website. Okay, next he gets the login screen. In the login screen, he will submit username password if already registered. If not registered, he will click on sign up. Sign up gives me form. Like this, user stories will be created. So nothing but same requirements in a particular format they will be written. In a particular format they will be written. Okay, to create these user stories, and from the user stories to create the tasks. So there is one more person called Scrum Master. In Agile model, that person is called as what? Scrum Master, who is party two. And what tool he will use, guys? Agile Jira tool. What is the tool he is going to use? Agile Jira. Actually, Agile is the SDLC model, software development lifecycle model. To design the user stories, to create the task or tickets from the user stories, Scrum Master take the support of what? Scrum Master take the support of what? Jira tool. Jira tool, okay, based on Agile methodology. Based on Agile methodology. Sir, I understood from user stories you created the task. I liked it. But what do you mean by tickets, sir? What do you mean by tickets, sir? Do you think all projects will be in development mode? There will be some projects in maintenance mode. There will be some projects in maintenance mode. Flipkart.com, guys, maybe 3 years they will develop. But once it is launched, okay, maybe new features they will add in the development. But after that, when once project is live, boss, when project is live, when project is being used by customers of the client organization, so small bugs will come, small issues will come, small defects will come. So there should be some team taking those defects and fixing them. There should be some tools taking those defects and fixing them. These defects issues are called tickets, boss. If project is in development mode, tasks will be created. If project is in maintenance mode, tickets will be generated, representing the problems, representing the defects or issues, representing the defects or issues, guys. Understood my statement, boss? Now tell me, boss. Okay, forget for the timing, you don't worry about the tickets. These tasks will be given to developers or programmers. Array, Scrum Master is a team leader kind of person, project leader kind of person. You'll be having one team. After dividing user stories into tasks, he will distribute the tasks to developers or not. He will distribute the tasks to developers or not. I want reply, my dear. Super, boss. Tell me, guys, what these developers will do, my dear? They do seriously coding. They do seriously coding, right? No, Scrum Master is a technical person. He also do coding. He also do integration. So we can say Scrum Master is like project leader only. He will do coding na, boss. Who is the third person? Developer comes into picture. Developer is the third party, boss. Hey, I just written one developer, boss. There will be multiple developers. It's a team. It's always team. In that one, senior developer, junior developers, okay, associate, a lot of things. What these developers will do, guys? These many tools will be used. While doing coding, using various Java J2EE technologies, using various Java frameworks, they will start using a lot of tools now, boss. They will start using a lot of tools now, boss. Come on, I want reply. They need to use a lot of tools now, boss. Listen, for task or ticket tracking, Jira. Developers also use Jira tool, boss. Not only Scrum Master uses Jira tool. Not only business developer uses Jira tool, right? Business analyst uses Jira tool to create user stories. Scrum Master uses Jira tool to create a task from the user stories. Developers uses Jira tool, okay, to know which task is given to which fellow. Which task is given to which fellow. What task I got? What is my first task? What is my second task? Come on, guys. Agile Jira tool will be used by 3 people. Person 1, product owner or business analyst, to create the user stories based on the requirements he gathered from the client organization or from the market. Number 2, Scrum Master, like project leader kind of person, to create tasks, subtasks from the user stories. Number 3, developers, testers. Developers, testers also will use Jira tool. Why? To know which task they got, which work they got. Everyone understanding my statement, boss? So ultimately, project leader and his team will be continuously working on the Jira tool to know what task is given, what is the status of task, submitted or not, when it is submitted, if submitted, what is the next task, review on the task. Everything will happen in the Jira. You know, everyday stand-up meetings will happen. Every on particular time stand-up meeting will happen. It's based on Jira tool. It's a based on Jira tool, stand-up meeting, also called Scrum meeting, boss. Also called Scrum meeting, right? Also called Scrum meeting, boss. Yes, boss. Now tell me, this developer will use Eclipse, IntelliJ, STS kind of IDEs. For debugging, he will use Eclipse Debugger as a build tool to simplify development process, guys. Mivenar Gradle tool will be used for unit testing, JUnit Marketo, for code analysis, Sonar Cube and Sonar Light. Sonar Cube and Sonar Light. What do you mean by code? Code analysis, whether you have written code by following standards or not. Are you following naming conventions properly or not? Are you following coding standards or not? It's very interesting tool, boss. For code coverage, Jacaco, Java code coverage, boss. Jacaco. No, listen. Stand-up meeting may happen in the Zoom or Skype or XYZ, but it will happen based on the work assigned through Jira tool. That's what I'm trying to say. Arun Seth, you are going in a wrong track. Stand-up meeting will not happen in Jira tool. But meeting will happen by using regular video streaming devices or meeting devices, making applications. But they will talk on what? They will talk on what? The tasks that are given to the developers in the Jira, right? Okay, boss. Fine, boss. Sonar keep to check whether code is following coding standards or not. Code coverage tool, Jacaco, Java code coverage. Okay, now listen, this is very interesting. To do unit testing, you will be using JUnit. Okay, boss. To do unit testing, you will be using JUnit. Okay, now the question is whether this unit testing is covering entire code in the testing part or not. Covering entire code execution or not. This is very interesting, boss. You have written unit tests. You have written JUnit test cases to test the code. But whether these test codes are covering 100% code, 50% code, 60% code, that really matters or not. It will give percentage of the code that is participating in execution when JUnit test cases are running. When JUnit test cases are running. Suppose it is covering only 40% code. That means 60% code got wasted, na boss? 60% code got wasted or not? So that means you have to increase more test cases. So indirectly, it is going to check whether your code whether your code is executing 100% or not when test cases are running. Okay, guys. Next one, Postman Swagger for APR web services testing, guys. Logging, SL4J, Log4j. This list is big list, guys. So many other tools also will be there. That's why I kept a dot, dot, dot. That's why I kept a dot, dot, dot. I hope you got the clarity, boss. Yeah, tell me, boss. Project development is a teamwork. There will be multiple developers. There will be multiple testers in the team. I write my piece of code. My colleague write his piece of code. But there should be a common place to integrate this entire code, to keep track of who is doing which work. That is technically called code repository. That is technically called code repository. I want reply. That is technically called code repository. Also called version control system. As on today, who is the best version control system in the market? GitHub, right? Best version control system is what? Git. In that one, GitHub is there, GitLab is there, implementations are many things. Implementations are many things. Okay, people are worried about Jacaco. Jacaco is very simple, boss. You have written test cases using JUnit to test your piece of code. When those test cases are testing your code, how much percentage of your code is participating in the execution? Suppose out of 100 lines, only 40 lines are participating. That means your testing is not so perfect. You are not testing entire code. If it is above 80%, if your test cases are covering above 80% of the code, making above 80% of the code to participate in execution, then it's going to be super perfect, right? SonarQube only coding standards. SonarQube checks whether you are following coding standards or not. Naming conventions, coding standards, this kind of thing. Yeah, everyone please come back. Everyone please come back. Tell me. Developer keeping code in code repository, technically called push. Developer getting updated code from code repository to his Eclipse IDE is called pull operation. Is called pull operation. I want reply from you people. Yeah, maybe I have shown one developer here, one tester here. But this code repository is connected to what? All the developers, all the testers, right? And even what? Scrum Master also will be connected to code repository. Everyone understanding my statement, boss? Arrows are right side only. Arrows are right side only. Push arrow is this, pull arrow is this side. Super, guys. Tell me, boss. Every developer do unit testing. Once he feel he got satisfactory code, he keep in repository. Like this, remaining developers also will do the same thing. And a Scrum Master kind of person will check the integration part perfectly happening or not. Once that integration test and unit testings are over, the code will be collected by whom, guys? QA team, quality assurance too. Also called testers, party 4. Now I am bringing party 4, guys, tester into picture. What tester will do, guys? From the Git repository, he will pull the code to his machine. And he will use his own sort of tools for performing testings, na boss. Integration test, unit testing, somehow will be done by development team, guys. Okay, remaining all testing should be done by developers. Clear, my dear. Basic testings only will be developer by developer. Integration test, unit testing. Okay. Few basic testings will be done by developer. And has a whole project. Developer testings are all, they on their own piece of code. But whole project testing will be there. Whole project as its entire project as a single unit. On that project, testings will be done by the testers. On that project, testings will be done by the testers. Yeah, that's how these testers will do, guys. Manual testing they do. Come on. Integration test is nothing but all modules are properly integrated or not. Because project is collection of modules, na boss. Come on. And different modules are developed by different team members. Whether they are properly integrated or not. That's it. Tell me, my dear. Tell me, my dear. Come on, guys. Yeah, these testers can do testing through manual process. Okay, if they want to automate, they can go for Selenium. They use Appium for API web services testing. They also use Postman and Swagger for API and web service testing. Okay, Postman is one kind of tool for testing the web services. Arvind Maurya, you will get to know what is Postman when you study web services. If you are about to study, don't worry about it. JMeter for performance testing. This is very important, guys. What do you mean by performance testing, guys? A simple theory, boss. Simple theory, simple funda. At the time of development, at the time of testing, hardly 10 members will be working on the project. At a time, 10 to 20 people will be accessing and using the project. Definitely performance will be good. Look at the e-commerce application. Project is released to client and client is exposing the project to customers of the client, like Flipkart customers. On a big million sale day, on a particular Diwali day, there is a chance of getting 1 crore customers at a time, 2 crore customers at a time. But in the development time and testing time, do you really get a chance to work with the 1 crore customers? But can you experiment after releasing the project? Can you really experiment after releasing the project? After launching e-commerce application, first big million days is announced and website got collapsed. Entire marketing money wasted. Ijjat ka sawal, not sawal, ijjat gone. Prestige gone, right? So that's why during the testing phase only, we need to create that load. We need to create such load in a simulator environment. Issue testers will do load testing by using JMeter. If developer wants to do the same thing, they also should use JMeter. Jignesh, it is not a course, it's a workshop. It's a workshop. Okay. These are common topics for all my Java course students. Client organization means who owns the project. Customers of the client organization means the customers who are doing business with the client organization. Citibank is the client organization. Customers of the Citibank means the people who are having accounts in the Citibank. The employees who are working for Citibank. Clear, boss? API means another name for RESTful web service is called API. Another name for RESTful web service is called API. I hope you got it, my dear. Understanding my statement? Programmer testing on his own piece of code is called unit testing. Programmer's testing on his own piece of code is called unit testing. Programmer's testing is called unit testing, guys. Fine, boss. I think tester's job is done. Tester's job is done. I want you people to stay focused. Some people are not listening the explanation. Please, I want everyone to be stay focused. Right, guys. Okay, now listen, Feru. Okay, now listen, Feru, carefully. Now, tested code, integrated code is now with code repository. Nothing but GitHub. Right, boss? Nothing but GitHub. But listen carefully. Listen carefully. Every 1 week, I want to do one or other release in the project, boss. Every 10 days to 1 week, I want to have one or other release because I'm planning phase by phase release, boss. It's not like that, project completed, released, okay, end of the story. No, no, no. Initial target is 100 features. 10 features are completed, release 1. 12 features are completed, release 2. 15 features are completed, release 3. Like this, I plan 30, 40 releases, boss. That continuously I want to release. Phase by phase, I want to release. Every 2 weeks or 1 week, I want to have a release. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Every 1 week, 2 weeks, I want to have a release, boss. Are you getting my point? Now listen carefully. So, we need a one tool, boss, who continuously connected to code repository and checks periodically. Periodically, it should check. Are there any changes in the code? Yes, changes are there in the code. Take the changes. Take the changes along with the old code, pack the code and keep it ready for release. Take the changes. Come on, guys. Add to old code and pack the code, WAR file or jar file, and keep it ready for release. And that should happen continuously, not for one time. That should happen continuously. So that role is going to be played by Jenkins tool, guys, which is also called CI/CD tool. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Are you doing my point, guys? Come on, I want reply from you people. Are you understanding my statement? Now listen. Listen. Okay. I have written such a script to Jenkins, guys. Every 1 week, it should go to code repository. It should check. Are there any changes in the code? Definitely will be there because development team is continuously working on that. Nah? Definitely, development team is continuously working on it. Right now, boss? Okay. Our testers also continuously testing it. Testers also continuously testing it. Developers also continuously working on it, right? So they collect the code. They pack the code. They collect the code. They pack the code. That means they're continuously integrating the code. And they're continuously keeping code for deployment, code ready for deployment. So that's the reason Jenkins is called CA/CD tool, guys. CA/CD tool. So no need of doing manually, but through scripting, through instruction, we can give all these instructions to Jenkins, boss. We can give all these instructions to Jenkins. Sir, this is looking like continuous integration, but you are also saying CD, continuous deployment. Wait. I'll tell why it is called continuous deployment. Array, this Jenkins tool is linked with Docker tool, guys. In this Docker tool, not only code, entire environment will be packed. Not only code, entire environment will be packed. Observe, boss, in Jenkins tool, continuously code is there, packed into the WAR file or jar file. Observe in Docker image, what's happening in Docker image? Not just WAR or jar file, required database software, required server, required JVM, required OS, and all required JDK software, whatever it is. Everything will be kept in Docker image. Tell me, boss, Jenkins is having code packing. Jenkins is having code packing. And Docker is having what? Environment packing, boss. Docker is doing environment packing. What do you mean by environment packing? What do you mean by environment packing? It is packing. It is packing everything that is required to run the code. So that I can move the code to any environment, right? I can move the code to any operating system, any machine, any location, because I'm not just packing the code. I'm packing what? Entire environment. Entire environment. Okay, now listen carefully. Docker image means plan. Plan of what to be packed. It contains the plan of what to be packed. But the real packing happens in Docker container. The real packing happens in Docker container. Okay, I can say something like this, guys. Docker image is like a Java class. Docker container is like a Java object. For one Java class, any number of objects can be created, na boss. Docker image like a blueprint, building plan, only plan. Okay. Docker container is like what? Real buildings. Based on one plan, multiple buildings can be created, na boss. So Docker image like a Java class. Docker containers are Java objects. Docker image like what? Java course browser, topic names only. But Docker containers are like what? The real classes that are happening based on the course browser. Yeah, what happened, guys? The Docker tool collects the code from Jenkins. And according to Docker image scripting, keeps this environment ready. And based on Docker image, Docker containers will be created. In that, not only code, entire environment will be packed. Not one more Jenkins, Babu. This Jenkins only. Environment, operating system, JDK, database software, web server, come on. Everything comes into the environment. Environment means what is required to run the code. What is required to run the code? Are you getting my point there, boss? Come on, everyone. Can I say one thing, boss? Can I say one thing? Jenkins, what is the role of Jenkins? Okay, according to instructions given to Jenkins, maybe every day, every 1 week, every 1 month, every 15 days. Connects to code repository. Checks, are there any updations or not? Yes, updations are there. In the Jenkins script, Testing should happen means complete the testing. Code coverage should happen means complete the code coverage also. After doing all these things, it collects the code and packs the code. Collects the code and packs the code. Are you with me, guys? Same Jenkins takes the support of Docker image instructions, and creates the Docker containers. What, guys? Creates the Docker containers having the environment pack. Simply having the environment pack. Convinced, my dear? Okay, now tell me, boss. Collecting the code from repository and packing the code. Continuous integration. Creating Docker containers having environment packing based on the Docker image is called continuous deployment. Why? These Docker containers will be deployed in the servers that are there in the cloud environment. Yeah, which cloud, guys? Maybe AWS cloud, Google cloud, or Azure cloud. What do you mean by cloud, sir? Nothing is there. Cloud environment is internet-based environment, which gives, come on, hardware, software, network infrastructure on rental basis. Which gives hardware, software, network infrastructure on rental basis. So let us assume I'm using AWS cloud. There I have purchased a server. I purchased some hardware and software setup. Okay, na boss? So in that one, these Docker containers will be deployed, na boss? In that one, these Docker containers will be deployed. I want reply from you. In that one, these Docker containers will be deployed. So now tell me, boss, Jenkins is doing two big roles now, boss. Number one role, connecting to code repository, collecting the code periodically, and if changes are there, having updation, packing the code. Continuous integration is over. During that integration process, if needed one more time, it will do testing. If needed one more time, it will do code coverage and number of things it will do, boss. Come on. Once that is done, boss, with the support of Docker image instructions, it will create a Docker containers. Not only code, total environment packing is there. Not only code, total environment packing will be there. And these Docker containers will be deployed in the cloud supplied cloud environment. The servers that are taken in the cloud. Pawan, I think you joined lately. Please, code coverage is responsible to check your unit testing is covering how much percentage of your actual code. Your unit testings are executing how much percentage of complete code. Okay, boss. Now listen carefully, boss. From based on Docker image, one Docker container is enough for environment packing. But why there are multiple Docker containers? Why there are multiple Docker containers? Tell me, boss. Tell me, boss. At a time, 10 crore people are asking my application. Better to have one copy of the application or multiple copies of the application? Multiple copies, guys, right? Multiple copies. So scaling is required or not? Definitely scaling is required or not? It is not for multiple service. Same service in multiple copies. Array, when Hyderabad was a small city, one Paradise Hotel is enough to serve to the customers of Hyderabad. Now Hyderabad has become 2 crore population city, boss. Now how many Paradise centers they opened? In different parts of city, they have opened nearly 30 branches now, boss. Okay, guys, they have opened 30 branches. 30 branches in 30 different places. So now Paradise has gone for scaling. Scaling means increasing the count. Increasing the count. So that's the reason there are multiple Docker containers. That's the reason there is a multiple Docker containers. Are you getting my point? Array, that is technically called horizontal scaling, boss. See, vertical scaling means adding number of floors in existing Paradise center. Already 2 4-story building is there. They made it 10-story building. That is called vertical scaling. Instead of making 10-story building, they created same Paradise in 10 different places of Hyderabad. That is called horizontal scoring. Are you getting my point? No, this is not microservice architecture. Sorry. It is not microservice architecture. If you are in a wrong mode, come out of that. Please try to use only my terminology. Don't get into your mode. Okay, guys. Now listen, boss. Horizontal scaling is good. Vertical scaling is not good. Vertical scaling is not good. Always horizontal scaling is best. Suppose KFC would have not become world famous if they believed in vertical scaling. Because it will be there only in USA. It will be there only in USA, that to one city of the USA. Yes, na boss? If they since they believed in horizontal scaling, what they have done? They opened KFC in different cities of US, in different cities of the world. So KFC has become world popular and lot of money they are generating and able to give service to every part of the world and every customer. Sriram, Sriram. Vertical scaling means increasing the memory, increasing the processing speed of application by adding RAM, by adding processor, all this stuff. Horizontal scaling means creating multiple copies of the same application. Creating multiple copies of the same application. That is called horizontal scaling. Paradise Hotel, vertical scaling. It is 2-story building. They made it 10-story building to attract the more customers. That is vertical scaling. People are not focusing. Paradise Hotel, horizontal scaling. Across the India, they opened 200 branches in different cities. Same Paradise Hotel they created in 200 places. That is called what, guys? Horizontal scale. Convinced, my dear? Super. Okay, now listen carefully. Now listen. Array, when number of customers are less, when number of customers are less, requests are less, we may not need more Docker containers. When number of customers and number of requests are more, we may need more and more Docker containers. Come on, guys, come on. All Docker containers are replica of each other. All Docker containers are replica of each other. We may need more Docker containers. Okay, that means there should be someone increasing Docker containers, reducing Docker containers, doing load balance among the Docker containers. Come on, guys. Doing load balance among the Docker container. There should be one or other person taking care of this task. That is nothing but Kubernetes. That is nothing but Kubernetes. Who that fellow? Kubernetes is that fellow. One more tool, guys. One more tool. Kubernetes. Understanding my statement? Okay. Now listen carefully, my dear. Listen carefully, my dear. Okay, now listen, boss. Listen, boss. Now applications are deployed. All these Docker containers are deployed in what? Web server or application server that is there in cloud environment. That is there in cloud environment. Agree with me? Do you think they are linked with real domain names, real website names? Do you think they are linked with... People are not focusing. When I launch the word, all of a sudden they are realizing, I have missed something. Boss, in online workshop, focus is very important. Yes, na boss. Kubernetes is responsible to increase or decrease number of Docker containers as needed and to perform load balance among the existing Docker containers. Creating more or less Docker container based on the need will be taken care by Kubernetes. Clear, boss? Will be created by Kubernetes. Is that clear, boss? Super, guys. Okay, listen, boss. Whenever our application is deployed in web server, do you really practice with a real website name? While learning Servlet JSP, what is the URL you typed in the browser address bar? http:// localhost port number /x/y, like this you used to do. But the visitors of the website likes that lengthy URL, technical URL, port number, localhost, or IP address. Do you think they really like it, boss? So that lengthy technical URL should be linked with the website name, website domain name, website name or website domain name. To do this work also, there will be one more software that is called DNS, Domain Name Service. That is nothing but domain naming system. Domain naming system. Domain naming system. What I am doing, boss? www.nit.com. I am linking with what? Cloud instance address. Cloud instance address. URL of the application in the cloud. URL of the application in the cloud. URL of the application in the cloud. Understanding my statement, boss? Till that time, that is accessed with what? Cloud IP address, cloud server port number, all technical lengthy URL. But in DNS, I'm linking with what? Some NIT.com. Due to this, the end user who is operating the browser can type www.nit.com. Though you are typing NIT.com, from DNS, it will gather real URL, http:// IP address : port number / some real website, real URL, right? Because of that, it comes to cloud server. This cloud server is linked with Kubernetes and Docker. It will pick up the right Docker container because of load balance system, whatever it is. If all are busy, it may create a new Docker container. Come on, guys. So that will execute, and executed output goes to browser as response. That will execute, the executed output goes to browser as response. Yeah. End user is also another party, boss. Here is party 6. End user, he is party 6, guys. Here is party 6. Yeah, load balance is done by Kubernetes. Here is party 6. You can keep these Docker containers anywhere. You can keep in AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, anywhere you can. Superboss, come on. Kubernetes nowhere related to Java, but Docker also nowhere related to Java. They can be used in Java, non-Java, any environment. Here is party 6, but listen carefully, boss. Listen. Listen, boss. Once code is kept in code repository, taking the code, packing the code, deploying the code is called building and deployment. Is called building and deployment process. And that will be taken care by DevOps team, boss. What is this, guys? DevOps team. Are you getting my point there, guys? Mr. Path Mazekar. Since you are a UI guy, you are learning all these things with respect to UI technology. Since it is a Java session, I explained all these tools with respect to Java project. With respect to Java project. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? DevOps team, guys. Listen, using Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, all these things, they are mainly focusing on building the project and deploying the project. DevOps team will do coding. Where their role, guys? Code is collected from code repository. They don't do coding. Their work is build and deployment. Their main work is build and deployment. Understanding? Their main work is building the code. Building the code. That means coding is already done. Keeping that code ready for deployment is called build process. So build and deployment team is nothing but DevOps team. So DevOps team will work with these tools, boss. The DevOps team will work with these tools. DevOps team means the team who works on multiple teams, who works with multiple tools. Like what? They need to work with the Git, they need to work with Jenkins, they need to work with Docker, they need to work with Kubernetes, they need to work with cloud, they need to work with other tools also, whatever required. What Java team do, na? Java team do will work coding, boss. Java team do coding. Testing team will do testing. DevOps team will do keep this setup ready for continuous integration, continuous deployment. And Scrum Master will do creation of the task. And business analyst will do creation of the user stories. Everyone is having their roles, boss. Everyone is having their roles very much clear. Okay, guys. Ashish, sprint is the term that comes in agile model of software development life cycle. Okay. Sprint is nothing but one task related planning. One release related planning is called sprint. DevOps, DevSecOps, one and the same. DevOps, DevSecOps, one and the same. DevOps, DevSecOps, one and the same. Okay. Can I give quick glance, boss? Can I give quick glance? Second time I'm repeating. Third time also I repeat. Sorry, boss. All these things should be handled by single team. Okay, if your team is all full stack developers, Docker tool will pack the environment into Docker container based on the instruction given in Docker image. Okay, leave it, everyone. Yeah, someone is asking me question. Sir, can all the can be done by single team? Suppose your team is full stack developers team, Java full stack developer. Okay, Java full stack developer means you should be all rounder in 6 places. You should be expert in Java. You should be expert in UI technology, expert in database, expert in testing, expert in DevOps, expert in cloud. Then he is called full stack developer. And if you are having full stack developer team, boss, no need of these many people, these many teams, guys. One team can do everything. Single team is enough, boss. Full stack team means single team is enough. Okay, boss. Now listen, have a quick glance, guys. For service project from client organization, for software product from open market, requirements will be gathered by business analyst and he will prepare the user stories using Agile Jira tool. Okay, from the user stories, Scrum Master will create the tasks. And these tasks will be assigned to team of developers. This developers team will use lot of tool, will do coding. And they also complete unit testing. They test their own code, guys. And they push the code into Git repository. Once all developers push their unit tested code to Git repository, the Scrum Master will do integration testing, check whether they have, all the things are properly integrated or not. Okay, then ask the testing team come into picture. These testers will pull the code from repository and they use their own tools to complete the testing. Okay, guys. Testing. But if your project is planning phase by phase continuous releases, okay, then Jenkins comes into picture. Periodically, it will connect it to repository, code repository, collects the code. Okay, if needed, again test the code. Again, it will perform the code coverage. Again, it performs check the quality of the code and packs the code continuously and periodically. And the same Jenkins tool, come on, guys, same Jenkins tool will take the support of Docker image instructions and will pack the environment along with the code in the form of Docker container. Jar file means web application. Jar file means standalone application. Jar file means standalone application. Var file means web application. Super, guys. Tell me next. Container. Right, boss. These Docker containers will be deployed in cloud environment in which servers will be taken on rental basis. Okay, that server will be integrated with what is that? Kubernetes, boss, so that it can increase or decrease number of Docker container instances based on the need and also take care of load balance. Okay, guys. With the support of DNS system, guys, okay, the deployed application of the server in the cloud environment will be linked with the real website name. So because of that, end user will connect to what? End user will generate the request from the browser by using the website name. So from DNS, it will collect the real URL of the cloud environment. Go to cloud environment server, picks up what? Appropriate Docker container instance, executes that instance. Whatever output is generated, that will go to browser as response. Come on, guys. When I introduce one by one, it looks very heavy. But now it's looking very simple now, boss. Now it is looking very simple, really simple. Okay, why it is need of conducting this session, you know? What is need of conducting this session, you know? You might have heard so many tool names, but you don't know which tool is used. And they might have created confusion in your brain. So now if you learn like this, you will get idea na, which tool is required in which environment. Because knowing where to use which tool comes in which practice, at least you are able to feel Whether it is required for developer or DevOps team. I will share everything. I will share everything. Don't worry. Okay, guys. Architect is responsible to design the project, guys. Yeah, tell me, guys. Business analysts gather requirement from client organization or market, creates user stories using the support of Agile Jira tool. Scrum Master, all these things we discussed, boss. All these things we discussed, right? Parties involved in real project flow. Party 1 business analyst. Party 2 scrum master. Party 3 developer. Party 4 tester QA team. Party 5 DevOps person. Party 6 end user. Right? Okay, now listen. I have given some alphabets also here, if you have noticed or not. A, B. I have given explanation about those alphabets, guys. Check it out. A, business analyst gathers the requirement and prepares user stories in English using Jira. B, Scrum Master create tickets or tasks from user stories to assign to different team members or developer using Jira tool. Like this, I have kept everything now, boss. Come on. H, this code will be given to cloud environment for deployment. Set of Docker containers are managed by Kubernetes for load balancing. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. The person who is working with the cloud is called cloud architect, cloud architect. A DNS will map applications URL with domain name or website name. End user sends request and get request from the application through DNS. Everything is clearly explained here, boss. Everything is clearly explained. Yeah. Okay. Those who are not having doubts, they can leave the session. Those who are having doubts, user stories means plan of building. User stories is nothing but from the requirements document, some English statements will be created. English statements will be created. Divan Shankar, who creates Docker image? Docker image is nothing but not image, boss, not image. That is also some kind of script that will be done by DevOps team, boss. That will be done by DevOps team. User stories are nothing but, okay, guys. User stories are nothing but for each requirement giving in point by point description. Point by point description, guys. Yes, I'm posting these notes in my Facebook group, guys. I'm posting these notes in my Facebook group, and it's a private group. You have to become member of the group in order to get this content. Rakesh Kumar Mishra, full stack. If you want to become full stack developer, you should know all this stuff. Then only you'll be called as full stack developer. That's why I generally say, first 3 years you try and work as what? Java developer only. In these 3 years, you try to become full stack developer. Fresher full stack developer really meaningless. Fresher full stack developer is this. Okay, guys. If you want, see, full stack developer means AWS required, DevOps required, database required, testing knowledge is required. Everything is required, guys. Nothing you can ignore. What's the work of Android developer? They develop Android applications. They develop Android application, mobile applications, boss. From where you can get these notes? From my Facebook group. From my Facebook group, you can get it. And this is the URL of the Facebook. Okay, I'm writing here, paste here. This is the URL. Java is required for Android developer. Yeah, definitely. Java, Android development happens in Java only. Core Java knowledge is required. Jenkins code from VCS. How do they know the code is already tested and taken to integration? Ethical Rahman, we can give information to listen. We can give information to Jenkins. Whenever you collect the code, you test it. And the beauty part of Jenkins is if it is already tested, it won't repeat the test. If it is already tested, it won't repeat the test, right? Yamuna, this is workshop, madam. It's a common topic for all my students. This is 1 day session. It's a workshop, 1 day session. Okay. Pawan, SDLC is different. This is purely tools, only tools related discussion, but this is not SDLC. Rakesh Kumar Mishra, my new Spring Basic Spring Boot microservice batch started in 8:45 p.m. slot, guys. In 8:45 p.m. slot, batch is started. Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking for my new Spring Boot microservice batch, if you're looking for my Spring Boot microservice batch, here is the URL. If you are looking for my Spring Boot microservice batch, here is the URL. CACD is automated process, DevOps team too. It is automated by DevOps team. It is automated by DevOps team. Jenkins needs some scripting, guys. That scripting is given by DevOps team. Neeraj Kumar, mail me. I will support you. Satya Prasad, when you start advanced Java course, I think just put request with admin, guys. I don't have no plan. I don't have any idea right now. Any graduation is sufficient to get into software industry. Graduation is sufficient to get into software industry. Kubernetes tool is or what? This is also one more tool. Like Docker, Jenkins, Kubernetes is also one tool, guys. Okay, guys. Tell me. Neeraj Kumar, 2 minutes back, I responded. Please mail me, I said. If you don't listen, please get out of the meeting. Please, Neeraj Kumar, you are spoiling the chat box. Yeah, in future also workshops will be conducted, boss. Jisan Khan, if you have a gap, you can show Naresh technology certificates. If you have a gap and you don't want to claim experience, then you can say Naresh IT training as the gap filling element. Uh, Mr. Ajinkya Rudre, I did not talk about DNA. DNA is a medical wording. Must try to get clarity what I taught. Mr. Rudre, based on if you're a fresher, core Java, advanced Java, Oracle, Spring and Spring Boot knowledge is required. Spring and Spring Boot knowledge is required. Balakrishna Darpataneni, though you are non-IT background student, you have to keep one project in the resume saying that I did that project during course time. I did that project using course time. Okay, Prasad Baddu, Power BI is different one, is nowhere related to this. Will you upload this recording in YouTube? I don't think so. Our people will upload. Can I get certificate from Naresh IT? Yeah, you can get course completion certificate. I have completed Spring Boot training. I have 6 years experience. What should I do? Hariprada Sahu, you can show 4 years as IT experience, 2 years as non-IT experience. Just learn Spring Boot and microservice to get into industry. Vinod Rajput, NIT full stack Java course covers 6 domains of knowledge. All 6 domains of knowledge. Hashim Khan, contact the admin people, front office people. Mr. Rakshita Madam, you can keep projects in advanced Java also as a fresher. Okay, guys. Ashwant Kumar, what you will mention about workshop? You can say, I attended workshops. What is there in that? I attended workshop, guys. Nothing else you can do with that. Nothing else you can do with that, right? Class recording is available. Check your luck. You check in the NareshIT YouTube channel. Anil City, mail me. I'll try to give details of consultant. I have done few development our company 2 years, but not mastered. Spring Boot macro. Can the course will help me to get into other company? Definitely, boss. You will get better package and better confidence when you complete Spring Boot and microservice, guys. Yeah, this is my details, boss. These are my details I'm sharing with. Copy this, paste it. Sujata Muva, after learning Spring Boot and microservices, you can show 5 years as IT experience, other 5 years as non-IT experience. Other 5 years as non-IT experience. Monisha BS, I have done few development in our company. Yeah, I think I answered this one. Please suggest me next courses. Just now I said, na, Spring Boot and microservices. If you are targeting to become full stack developer, okay, Naresh IT full stack Java program, where you have to concentrate DevOps and AWS also. DevOps and AWS also. In microservices, what are you going to cover? Everything of microservice. Gateways, R&D server, circuit breakers, ELK stack, design patterns, and number of things. End-to-end of microservice we are going to learn. Okay. Quotas Shivasai. As I said, Selenium is a separate domain, boss. It can be learned anytime. Vishnu Kant Soni, you have 3 years gap between MCA and BCA. What you can do? 1 minute. After BCA, you have 6 years gap, guys, if you hide your MCA. If you hide your MCA, you have 6 years gap. In that one, 2 years you can show non-IT experience. Recent 4 years, last 4 years, you can show IT experience. Okay. Darpatneni Balakrishna, AWS DevOps is a separate course. AWS is a separate course, DevOps is a separate course. Okay. Sakhya Lokende, if you are a fresher, you can go for job trials. Mr. Parth Mazakar. Okay. You can continue 8:45 p.m., but you have to take permission from admin. Communicate with your admin. Okay. Rajkumar. Rajkumar, you don't decide you have a good knowledge or bad knowledge. Attend 4-5 interviews. If you can clear them, you have a good knowledge. If you cannot clear them, you have a bad knowledge. You don't decide yourself. Okay, guys. Yeah, freshers market is bit dry right now, but from August onwards, it will be open up. Now use this time for subject preparation. Once market is open, you can be the first person getting the job. Anil City, you can collect the projects from working friends or relatives or from GitHub or by joining in Naresh IT real-time Java project batch. Sujata Muva, madam, DevOps is a separate course, AWS is a separate course. Okay, there is no separate syllabus for Java people, boss. You learn them as independent courses only. But when they teach, you have to integrate with Java. You have to integrate with the Java. Ramya Nallari, till August, you prepare yourself in the subject, na? First, you prepare yourself in the subject, right? Rakshita, you attended advanced Java, na? You Java technology, JDBC, JNDI. JWE technology, Servlet, JSP. Like this, you keep in the resume. Joshua, if you are showing experience, calls are coming. If you are showing experience, calls are coming. Fresher market is dry, but open up from August onwards. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I hope your Sunday got not wasted. Your Sunday got utilized. Parth Muzakar, no option, boss. You have to learn Spring. After getting knowledge on Spring, you have to learn Spring Boot. JSF is outdated, guys. No one is using it. No one is using it, right? I have OOPS minimum knowledge, completed only JDBC. Can I come for your spring batch? Yes, you can come. Shravan Jada, you can come. Shravan Jada, you can come. Bhanu Prakash, 2 minutes back, I said. J2W technology, Servlet JSP. JSC tech, Java tech.